Okay, so you're here because you really want to understand this whole phonological awareness assessment thing,
Hmm.
but you don't want to like wade through a ton of research articles to get there.
Right.
And we get that. That's
Absolutely.
exactly what this deep dive is all about.
That's what we do.
We've got this really great review article on assessing phonological awareness, and we're going to pull out all of the essentials
Yeah.
to help you get up to speed on this really critical part of early literacy.
Yeah, this is a really important one
Yeah, it is.
because I think sometimes, um, folks in the field know
Right.
that phonological awareness is important, but understanding how we assess it
Mm-hmm.
and why we assess it
Right.
can give us a lot of information about how to support kids.
Yeah.
So that's our aim today.
Okay.
Make it practical for you.
So let's just jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do we mean by phonological awareness?
I think it's helpful to think about it as just the ability to hear and play with sounds,
Okay.
really, in a conscious way.
Mm-hmm.
So, work by Lieberman and Shankweiler
Right.
back in 1985,
Okay.
and Wagner and Torgesen in 87,
Mm-hmm.
really highlight that this is about the spoken word.
Right.
It's not about written language. It's not about meaning.
Right.
It's purely about sound,
Okay, so it's separate from print.
separate from print.
And meaning.
Yes.
Can you give me some examples of what that looks like?
Yeah, so some really common ones are like rhyming.
Okay.
So can a child tell if you know cat and hat rhyme
Right.
or dog and log rhyme?
Mm-hmm.
Another one is like being able to identify the first sound in words.
Okay.
So recognizing that like cat and car both start with that K sound.
Right.
Or being able to segment or break a word down into its individual sounds.
Okay.
Like knowing that the word sun has 3 sounds, S-U-N.
Okay, so when we talk about phonological awareness, I
Mhm.
hear this term phonemic awareness thrown around a lot.
Yes.
So is that like the same thing, or?
It's related.
It's definitely related.
Okay.
So phonemic awareness is a part of phonological awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really the understanding that words are made up of individual sounds.
Okay.
And those sounds are called phonemes.
Gotcha.
And so those phonemes are the smallest units of sound
Mm.
that can change the meaning of a word.
Right.
So if we think about the word bat, the B, the A, and the T
Right.
are all individual phonemes.
Right.
And any task that involves blending those phones together to make a word
Right.
or taking a phone away to create a new word,
Mm-hmm.
all of that would be targeting phonemic awareness.
Okay, cool.
So phonemic awareness is like a key part
Yeah.
of that broader umbrella.
Okay, so phonological awareness is the big umbrella.
Yes.
Phonemic awareness is like under that umbrella.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
And I think it's helpful too to remember that phonological awareness
Mm-hmm.
is part of a bigger set of skills called phonological processing skills.
And so, research by folks like Wagner and Torgesen
Right.
has really helped us understand that there are other areas like phonological memory,
Okay.
which is our ability to hold on to and remember sounds for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then rapid naming,
Okay.
which is how quickly we can retrieve the sounds of letters or objects.
Oh.
And all of these skills kind of work together when we're dealing with language,
Right.
both spoken and written.
That makes sense. So it's not just like
It's not just one thing.
a one-off skill.
Right, exactly.
It's a whole family of skills.
Exactly. It's a whole system.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So does this awareness of sound just magically appear one day? Or is it something that develops over time?
It's definitely something that develops,
Right.
and it develops along a continuum.
Okay.
So it becomes more and more complex as children's skills develop.
Right.
And so, one way that we can think about this
Mm.
is through different levels of awareness.
Yeah.
And so, the work of Adams in 1990,
Mm-hmm.
Schatzschneider and colleagues in 99,
Mm-hmm.
Stanovich and colleagues in 84,
Okay.
Wagner and colleagues in 93, Yop in 88.
Mm-hmm.
All of these researchers have really contributed to our understanding of this developmental continuum.
Right. So a gradual progression.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the first level is really just having an ear for sounds.
Okay.
So this is where you see kids enjoying rhymes
Mm-hmm.
in nursery songs,
Okay.
or starting to notice patterns in language.
Like the cadence of a...
Exactly, like a familiar chant or a
Whisper?
song or something like that.
Gotcha.
So it's very,
Surface level.
surface level.
They call.
Okay, what's next?
So then we move into what we call oddity tasks.
Okay.
And this is where kids start to compare and contrast sounds in words.
Okay, so they're starting to...
They're starting to break it down a little.
Yeah, okay.
So can they pick out the word that sounds different
Hmm.
at the beginning?
Like, for example, if we gave them bike, ball, and house,
Right.
which one has a different beginning sound?
Right.
Or can they pick out the word that has a different ending sound?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then one of the ones that's usually a little bit trickier at this stage
Okay.
is identifying the odd word out
Mm-hmm.
based on the middle sound.
Okay.
So if we gave them sit, sat, and sun,
Right.
which one's different?
Right. That's harder
Yeah.
to like isolate that middle sound.
Exactly. And then we also see things like sound matching
Okay.
in this stage. So like recognizing rhymes
Mm-hmm.
or, identifying words that start with the same sound.
Okay.
All of that would fall into this kind of level 2.
Cool. What about level 3?
All right, so level 3 is all about blending.
Okay.
So this is the ability to blend individual sounds together to make a word.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I said the sounds F-I-E one at a time,
Right.
could the child put those together
Right.
and say fish?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, so that's that blending skill.
So they're like actively manipulating the sounds.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about the next level?
Okay, so level 4
Mm-hmm.
is manipulation.
Okay.
And this means being able to like isolate a specific sound and then do something with it,
Okay.
like take it away or change it.
Mm-hmm.
So a common example would be asking a child to say the word train,
Right.
but without the toe sound.
Right.
So it'd be rain.
Okay, so they really have to have that
You have to have that awareness
of each sound to be able to like
and to manipulate it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And then the final level?
Okay, so the final level is the most advanced.
Okay.
And this is called segmentation.
Okay.
So this is where you can hear a word and break it down
Mm-hmm.
into those individual foams.
Right.
And a lot of times kids are even able to count how many sounds they hear.
Right.
So if we gave the word clap,
Mm-hmm.
a child at this level would be able to hear those separate sounds.
All right.
They would say K-L-A-P.
Oh, wow. So that's really like,
That's the top level.
yeah, they've got it.
They've got it. Yeah.
They've mastered
Yeah.
that awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this nice progression, and I'm sure
There's some debate.
some kids might.
A little different.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the point here
Big picture.
is
The
that
big picture.
different tasks are better at assessing
Right.
different levels of awareness.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, so it kind of moves along that continuum from that general awareness of
Right.
sound patterns
Uh-huh.
all the way to very specifically being able to work with those individual foams.
Okay, cool. So we know that it's like a step-by-step developmental thing,
Mm-hmm.
but why is it so important for reading?
That's the million-dollar question,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
and it's funny because we've been talking about spoken language this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But, our review really highlights that difficulties in these phonological processing skills
Mm-hmm.
are often a key factor
Okay.
in reading problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so there's a theory out there
Okay.
that suggests that most reading difficulties
Mm-hmm.
actually stem from problems in processing the sounds of language.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, not so much problems with visual processing or other cognitive areas.
Right.
While those can contribute,
Yeah.
this phonological piece is really, really significant.
Okay, so if a child is struggling to hear and manipulate those sounds,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to make it harder for them to then connect those sounds to the letters.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And so phonological awareness is a really strong predictor
Okay.
of how well kids are going to learn to read.
Okay.
And there have been lots of studies, Blackman's work in 84,
Mm-hmm.
Bradley and Bryant in 85,
Mm-hmm.
Byrne and Fielding Barnsley in 91 and 93,
Mm-hmm.
Calfee and colleagues in 73,
Right.
Hatcher and colleagues in 94,
Right.
Scarborough in 98.
Right.
All of these researchers have shown this very consistent link between phonological awareness
Mm-hmm.
and reading acquisition.
Yeah. So if you can't hear the individual sounds in a word,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to blend them together
Right.
when you see them on the page?
Exactly. And how are you going to figure out those unfamiliar words,
Right. Yeah.
when you come across them?
And that's so important for like
Absolutely.
decoding
Mm-hmm. Being able to sound out words.
and to become a fluent reader.
Yes, and that's a whole other
Right.
thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but phonological awareness is really that foundation
Right.
for those skills.
It's like the basis for all of it.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I noticed the review mentions reading comprehension too.
Yeah.
So is there like a link there?
So it's indirect,
Okay.
but it's definitely there.
Okay.
So, the research of Stanovich in 88
Mm-hmm.
and Blutino in 91,
Mm-hmm.
suggests that if a child is struggling to decode words
Right.
accurately and fluently,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have less mental energy left over
Oh, right.
to actually understand what they're reading.
Right. So it's all going to decode it?
Yeah, and then there's nothing left for comprehension.
Exactly. So it's like this huge effort
Yeah.
to just get the words off the page,
Yeah,
and then comprehension suffers.
right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, there was one study mentioned in this review that really stuck out to me,
Yes.
and it was this longitudinal study.
Mm-hmm.
This is Wagner and colleagues in 97
Okay.
that showed that phonological awareness skills
Right.
in kindergarten
Mm-hmm.
could actually predict word-level reading abilities
Okay.
years later.
Wow. So like long-term impact.
Huge long-term impact.
Wow.
Yeah. And this has a couple of implications.
Okay.
One is that it suggests that these skills aren't just related to reading,
Mm-hmm.
they're actually contributing to the development of reading.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that means that we could potentially identify kids
Mm-hmm.
who might struggle even before
Oh, right.
they start formal reading instruction.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Another implication is that, assessing these skills later on
Mm-hmm.
can help us understand, if a child is having reading difficulties.
Right.
Why are they having those difficulties?
Okay, so it helps us get to like the root of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And the third implication,
Okay.
and this was a little bit,
A little scary.
a bit sobering,
Yeah.
is that research suggests that these phonological processing abilities
Mm-hmm.
are pretty stable over time.
Oh, no.
So, if a child is struggling in kindergarten,
Right.
there's a good chance they'll continue to struggle
Yeah.
unless we intervene.
Right.
Yeah.
So that stability thing is a little bit,
A little scary.
yeah, but it just really highlights.
Underscores the
Yeah.
importance of early intervention.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to assess a child's phonological processing.
Hmm.
What are the key areas that we should be looking at?
Okay, so our review talks about three main areas.
Okay.
One is phonological awareness,
Mm-hmm.
which, remember, is the ability to hear and manipulate those sounds
Oh,
at
so-
different levels,
Great.
from whole words and syllables down to individual phonemes.
Mm-hmm.
The second is phonological memory,
Okay.
which is that short-term sound representation.
Mm-hmm.
So how well can a child hold on to and recall sounds?
Gotcha.
And then the third is rapid naming,
Okay.
which is really about the speed at which a child can name familiar things,
Mm-hmm.
like letters or colors or objects.
Mm-hmm.
And this is thought to reflect how efficiently they can access phonological information.
Okay.
So all three of those things are important.
Now, the review brings up this debate around rapid naming
Yes.
that I found really interesting. So is it really a phonological skill,
Right.
or is it like something else?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And I think, different researchers have different perspectives on it.
Right.
Some folks argue that rapid naming, even of visual things like letters or colors,
Right.
is connected to how quickly we can access the sounds of language
Oh, interesting.
in our long-term memory.
Okay.
And their thinking is that, when we read,
Right.
especially when we're first learning,
Mm-hmm.
we often use the sounds of letters,
To sound out the words.
like to help us sound out the words.
Yeah.
And so being able to quickly name letters, for example,
Mm-hmm.
might show how efficiently a child can use those sound letter connections.
Okay, I see that side.
Right.
But then there's another side.
There's another side.
Okay.
Right. So other researchers propose that rapid naming
Right.
might actually be tapping into a separate visual processing skill.
Okay.
So how quickly we can recognize and name a visual stimulus,
Right.
like a letter or a color.
Mm-hmm.
And they suggest that, sometimes difficulties with reading
Right.
can come from problems with this visual naming speed,
Oh, interesting.
even if a child has good phonological awareness.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
And so this idea is sometimes called the double deficit hypothesis,
Okay.
because it suggests that some kids might struggle with reading because of a deficit in phonological processing
Mm-hmm.
or a deficit in visual naming speed,
Mm.
or even both.
Oh, right. So they could have like one or the other or both?
Exactly. And you can imagine that having both would be the most challenging.
Right. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the review mentioned a study that kind of supports this idea of the double deficit.
Yeah, it does.
And they were following kids over time.
Mm-hmm. So Manis and colleagues in 2000
Yeah.
found that both rapid naming and phonological awareness
Mm-hmm.
contributed
Okay.
uniquely
What?
to reading development.
Oh, wow.
So they each brought something.
Right. So both are important.
Both are important.
Right.
And interestingly, they found that rapid naming skills
Mm-hmm.
were actually a better predictor of spelling,
Okay.
while phonological awareness was more strongly linked to decoding new words. And then those kids who had difficulties with both
Right.
tended to have the most significant reading problems.
That makes sense.
Right.
So,
Oh.
so all this to say,
Mm-hmm.
this debate explains why, like, some assessments include rapid naming
Right.
and others don't.
Exactly.
And it just really highlights
Great.
how important it is
It does.
to understand those different skills.
Yeah. And I think the big takeaway there
Right.
is that all of this research
Mm-hmm.
has helped us develop really great interventions
Right.
that are aimed at boosting those foundational skills.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Okay, so that kind of brings us to our next question, which is,
Yeah.
how effective is training
Right.
in phonological awareness?
So the evidence is really strong
Okay.
that instruction in this area can improve reading skills,
Okay.
particularly for children with low phonological awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So Ball and Blackman in 91,
Mm-hmm.
Bradley and Bryant in 85,
Mm-hmm.
Brady and colleagues in 94,
Mm-hmm.
Byrne and Fielding Barnsley again in 91 and 93,
Right.
Cunningham in 1990,
Mm-hmm.
Lai in 91,
Mm-hmm.
Lindbergh and colleagues in 1980,
Mm-hmm.
O'Connor and colleagues in 93,
Okay.
and Torgeson and colleagues in 92
Okay.
all showed positive impacts
Mm-hmm.
of training.
Gotcha.
And actually, even more so,
Yeah.
programs that combine phonological awareness
Okay.
and phonics instruction.
Oh, okay. So, like, putting those two together is
Actually,
even more powerful.
it seems to be the magic combination.
Okay.
And, Brown and Felton's work in 1990,
Mm.
Felton in 93,
Mm-hmm.
Hatcher and colleagues in 94,
Mm-hmm.
and Torgeson and colleagues in 94,
Right.
all found that combination
Right.
was really, really beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because you're getting both sides
You're getting both.
of that coin, right?
Yeah.
The sound awareness and then how the letters connect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, the review also mentions this really cool longitudinal study.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, so this is Byrne and Fielding Barnsley's work
Mm-hmm.
in 91 and 93.
Okay.
And they had this preschool intervention
Okay.
called Sound Foundations,
Okay.
and it focused on teaching kids
Mm-hmm.
to identify and classify phonemes.
All right.
So they used pictures and worksheets and card games,
Right.
and they even started introducing letters.
Okay.
And so immediately after the program,
Mm-hmm.
the experimental group outperformed the control group
Okay.
on the sounds that they had been trained on,
Right.
untrained sounds,
Oh, wow.
and word recognition.
Okay.
So they could even decode unfamiliar words.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And they also had better letter knowledge.
Oh, wow. Okay, so those are some pretty immediate benefits.
Huge immediate benefits.
Wow.
Yeah. And then a year later,
Okay.
those initial significant differences were reduced,
Okay.
but they were still there. So they found that the experimental group was better at reading non-words,
Mm-hmm.
and they were better at identifying that final phone in a word.
Okay.
But when they reanalyzed the data,
Okay.
they actually found that the kids who had higher phonological awareness
Right.
in preschool
Mm-hmm.
performed better on all of the phone tasks
Mm-hmm.
and literacy measures
Okay.
after kindergarten,
Wow.
regardless of which group they were in.
So it was really about
It was the skill.
that foundation.
It was the phonological awareness
Yeah.
that made the difference.
Yeah. So if they had it,
Mhm.
they were good.
They were good to go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's
Powerful.
really powerful study.
Yeah.
And you know what they said was really interesting?
Okay.
They talked about how the training helped kids establish these critical insights
Mm-hmm.
into phonological structure.
Right.
And that's what set them up
For success.
for success later on.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah, it's good stuff.
But, I think it's important to remember that phonological skills are important,
Yes.
but they're not the only thing.
Not the only thing.
Right.
And so the review really emphasized
Mm-hmm.
that we have to combine
Mm-hmm.
phonological awareness training
Mm-hmm.
with letter knowledge
Right.
and the alphabetic principle.
So that connection
Yeah.
between
That sounds
sounds and letters.
relationship.
Right. And like
We had
a lot of research
tons of research.
points to that.
Yes.
Ball and Blackman, 88 and 91.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley and Bryant, 85.
Mm-hmm.
Hatcher and colleagues, 94.
Mm-hmm.
Byrne and Fielding Barnsley, 91, 93, 95.
Mm-hmm.
All of these researchers found that
Yeah, if you don't have both,
you don't have both.
you're not going to be able to decode.
Right, you're not going to be able to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and this is exactly what the National Reading Panel and the
Yeah.
National Research Council are saying too,
Yep.
that you've got to have
Gotta have it.
both of these pieces.
Yeah.
And they're suggesting, or
Yeah.
recommending, I should say,
That's good.
that phonological skills training should be included
Mm-hmm.
in early reading instruction.
Yeah. And I think what's really cool
Right.
about that recommendation
Yeah.
is that it's not just for kids who are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying all kids can benefit.
Right.
And then, of course, it's going to help those who are at risk even more.
Right. Yeah. So it's good for everybody.
It's good for everybody.
We have to assess.
You got to assess to know
where they are.
to know where they are.
Right.
Right. And who needs that extra support.
For sure.
Right. Okay, so
And let's talk about assessment.
yeah, let's talk about the types of assessment,
Okay.
tools, and methods.
All right. So assessment serves lots of purposes.
Right.
You know, Browder's work in 91
Mm-hmm.
really highlights this.
Yeah. And so, depending on why you're assessing a child,
Mm-hmm.
you might need to use different tools.
Right.
And remember our scenarios
Yeah.
with Sandy and Chris and Martina,
Mm-hmm.
they each had different assessment needs.
Right.
So Sandy, as the new school psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
she needed to figure out which kids might qualify for special services.
Right.
So she needed to screen
Mm-hmm.
Chris as the special education resource teacher.
Right.
He was working with a student who had already been identified,
Mm-hmm.
and he needed to figure out, what specific skills to target in his instruction.
Right.
So he needed to do some diagnostic assessment.
Right.
And then Martina, as the kindergarten teacher,
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to know how effective her curriculum was.
Mm-hmm.
So she needed to monitor progress.
Right.
And all of these needs
Mm-hmm.
kind of align with the three main types of assessment.
Okay.
So we have norm reference tests,
Mm-hmm.
criterion reference tests,
Mm-hmm.
and curriculum-based measurement. So three different approaches
3 different approaches.
for different purposes.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start with norm-referenced tests.
Okay,
So what's their main purpose?
so the main purpose of a norm reference test is to compare a child's performance
Right.
to a large representative group of other children
Okay.
of the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And these are often used to determine if a child is significantly behind their peers.